All right, boys, come on in. Make it snappy. I got an important date.
See where Mickey Mullins took it for a 10 count at the fights last night?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, if his trainer hasn't pumped the dope out of him yet, they're still counting over him.
The dirty crooks.
I was real indignant.
You get a hold of those two boys and tell them I'm very unhappy. I thought they had a right guy, and I put $20,000 on him to win. And I won't settle for a nickel less. Cash in 24 hours, or we give the sports writers a yarn they can get their teeth into.
Okay, boss.
Well, Eagle Eye?
Night clerk at the Bedford let me have this carbon of her registration. Recognize the name?
Smith. Sounds familiar. Mr. and Mrs. James Smith.
Only it was Alec Trent. Funny how guys forget their names, ain't it?
Yeah. Never mind, Swanson. Have our attorneys, Waters and Johnson, send Mr. Trent a photostatic copy of that. It might refresh his memory.
Okay, Randy.
Remember, on election day, when you go to the polls, it is your duty to vote for a man like George Swanson.
Hello? This is one of the volunteer workers in George Martin's campaign headquarters. Is this the Progressive Youth Club?
Come on, Swanson. What do you got?
Well, we're progressing wonderfully. Yes, I'd like to bring some campaign material and some campaign buttons to your headquarters this evening, if you'll wait.
All ready? Who's coming to the meeting?
I am.
Here you are, Mr. Martin. Come on, man.
Here's your throwaway. Here's your load. And here's yours.
Oh, thanks, Swanson. You're right on the job.
That's me, boss. Hope you hand it out to them Williams heels in your spiel tonight.
I'll have to get you to help me write speeches.
Write 'em. You ought to get me to make 'em. Ain't you blowing the whistle, Mackie?
I beg your pardon.
Knocking off. It's time for little boys and girls to go home.
I have still 2 precincts to check.
Oh, come on. Tell you what, I'll set you up to a real feed.
You're very kind, but I must finish my work.
Well, I gotta hand it to you. I never seen anybody work like you. Writing and phoning and make speeches and...
No more speeches. That's all over.
No. You don't tell me.
I seem to have been shouldered aside. But of course I'm not running for office.
Say, you sure hit it. You'd think that white dame was running, wouldn't you? Say, that's a good one. She's running for DA. Get it? You know, running after the DA.
Why, Mr. Swanson, that's not very nice of you to gossip. Although I must say it was not very discreet of Mrs. White.
Mrs.?
Why, of course, a married woman. I met her and her husband before she first came here. But of course, as far as I'm concerned...
What do you know about that? Say, you sure you won't have some java?
Oh, thank you.
Well, I gotta beat it. I got a date. Then she spills it that the white dame is married, see?
That's just the line we've been looking for. Tony, that's your assignment. You're the missing husbands department.
Name's White.